Hello everyone and welcome to QuipScope. Welcome back to QuipScope.
Yeah.
It's the show where we talk about a new game that's come out and we let you know our first impressions. Don't we, Ben?
We sure do, Peter.
I'm Peter.
And I'm Ben.
And today we're talking about something a bit different, really, aren't we?
Something a little bit strange.
It's a genre. It's a genre that's not been done for a while, really. Not very well, anyway.
Fumv.
What?
Fumv.
Why are you saying fumv?
FMV.
Oh, I see. FMV.
We all on the same page?
We're talking about Erica today, right, Ben?
Yeah, we are. This was announced. Well, not announced. It was announced that it was coming out right now.
Now?
At Gamescom Opening Night Live last week. Literally a calendar week ago.
Yeah.
It was spawned onto the store. It was originally announced back in Paris Games Week 2017, then just went silent.
Ooh la la.
We
We should have gone before we started recording.
Yeah, I actually do kind of need a wee, so we'll keep this short, mainly because the footage you're seeing at the moment is me playing it, and I don't want to put any spoilers in, so I'm going to cut around any impactful moments just so you can get an idea, but we won't go too long.
Don't want to linger on, given that it's based entirely on FMV.
Exactly.
We don't want to show all the FMV.
We don't want to do that, otherwise it would be spoiler town. And I had a little look at the original trailer. It's a completely different woman in it. And it's got completely different scenes and acting in it.
Really?
Which leads me to believe that the original trailer they debuted was literally a vertical slice that they showcased to basically their pitch to
just a proof of concept, really.
Yeah, exactly. And that was their original trailer. And then it's just gone into hibernation for 2 years. And I played it through all the way through. I finished it.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's lots of different endings. It's branching based on your decisions. It's got smartphone interactivity.
Oh.
It was originally PlayLink
Right.
enabled, but you can still play it on a phone. You've got to do gestures and move, use it as a cursor almost. But you can play it with a controller as well, which is something I didn't know. I haven't played it with a controller. I actually played it on an iPad. So I've got even more room to do
scrolling and gestures, yeah.
Yeah. And Peter, I love these kind of games. I didn't think this was very good.
Oh, no.
I thought it felt super budge.
Yeah?
Super budget.
Budge.
We've talked a lot. I feel like we've talked an awful lot about how Death Stranding, all the gameplay we've seen so far, looks like a bit like Doctor Who, where they just shoot in various quarries around the UK.
Yeah.
Until they've exhausted all the quarries.
Put some kind of colour grading on it so that it looks like the moon.
Looks mysterious.
Or Mars or a new planet.
This felt like a BBC TV show on a budget. It really did. Like, some of the acting was super wink wonk. Some of the motion controls you had to do, like spin around an office chair and there's someone sat in the office chair, but are they alive? They're not alive. But when you spin it round, once they finish, you can tell that the actor's just gone and like flopped over to one side dramatically, and it's near comedic,
right?
Anyway, because you can tell that like someone's had a clue stuffed in their mouth, and you roll over the body and then they go and they open their mouth. It's like, that doesn't happen with dead bodies.
Rigor mortis.
It's really stupid. The location is all one house, which is the point. But there's a lot of like jumps in sort of logic and reason, and suddenly they're in a secret barn, but it doesn't show them getting to the barn. Right. They're just in the barn, or they're in the secret room or whatever. There's a lot. It just strikes me as an episode. Like, honestly, it strikes me. I'm not even a Doctor Who fan, but from watching Doctor Who, this strikes me as an episode of Doctor Who.
Right. It's a bit like Give Yourself Goosebumps.
Kind of.
In that Goosebumps was very budget and cheesy, and then there were those Give Yourself Goosebumps books where you can make branching path decisions.
Right.
So,
but I feel like this is trying to take itself really seriously.
Yeah, whereas Goosebumps wasn't.
Exactly, and Doctor Who even was tongue-in-cheek sometimes, and they could pull off the spooks when they wanted to.
Yeah.
This felt very ham-fisted and very shoestring in a lot of ways.
Right.
And I've played a lot of games that are similar to this, like Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah, the Quage games.
Love the Quage games. And Beyond Two Souls was his stinkiest one.
Right.
And I still really enjoyed it. But there was something about something about this being full motion video and actually seeing actors in a setting where they had to go somewhere with cameras that made this feel even cheaper. Because I can't imagine what Beyond Two Souls would have looked like if David Quage had to shoot it with actual cameras, because it would have been astonishingly bad. But I don't know. I like the idea. I'm all on board with the concept. I played it with a group of friends, which I think is the way to do it, where you're all just sort of yelling, "Oh, do this, do that."
Yeah.
But it may be different on the controller, but the touch controls weren't great. Like you'd have to walk up to a door and she'd just stand there. You'd be like, "Oh, I can't wait to play again now," and you've got to just turn the handle.
Right.
And sometimes it wasn't obvious, like a door's locked, and you're there just like, "Why isn't it? I don't I'm doing the full motion. I'm doing all the things and then she goes, "It's locked." And I'm like, for God's sake, I didn't know if that was just a shortcoming of the technology or there's no feedback there to let me know immediately that I'm not supposed to get through this bit.
Right. How's the lead? You say the acting is a bit hammy.
She's good.
Is she okay? Yeah.
She's good. I think a lot of the shortcomings for me were because of the writing. It was very movie villain dialogue a lot of the time.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to think up an example that isn't even in the game, but like,
right, yeah.
If you're not scared yet, and then there's a big pause, and you're like, "You should be. You should be."
Oh,
like, oh God.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, it's all very cliched. Get drunk with a group of friends and play it, and you'll have a good time.
There's something about FMVs that or FMV games that do just feel like that. Like when this was first announced and I realized it was just an entirely FMV based game, it immediately made me think of PC games from the sort of late 80s, early 90s, where, there would be point and click adventures that were almost entirely shot with FMV or sort of photographic stills and stuff. Right. And they would usually be really hammy and dreadful. Or you think of like something that's not entirely a full FMV game, but, Command and Conquer cutscenes and stuff like that, they were often FMV. And I don't know if there's just something inherent in it that it's just a bit weird that you've got this real live action scene going on, but you have sort of artificial control over it, and I don't know if there's just something inherent in that makes it all feel wonky, as opposed to, if it's a computer generated scene, it's just it's a normal game as you would expect it. Having control over that scene, I don't know if there's some difference there, but there's just something about FMVs that just
isn't right.
It's just wrong.
There's a bit of a disconnect.
I don't know why.
No, I haven't played Bandersnatch, but I feel like that's the closest current example that people would be able to associate with.
True.
Unfortunately, having not played it or seen it, I can't make the comparison, but I imagine the acting and the writing and the production values are way higher than what we've got in Erica, because it is only $8.99. It's a budget release. It had no fanfare. It was just, and it's out now. Please. It's reviewed fine. It's got like 70 on Metacritic.
Oh, okay.
And I suppose that's fair. Like, it's playable. In terms of the story, it's set up in the trailer as sort of like a dark murder mystery kind of deal. And it is that, but because of the splintering paths, something I read is that none of your decisions really make any difference until the final third of the game, where you're making big decisions that aren't really sort of signposting themselves as big decisions. However, whatever you choose, you end up in the same sort of ballpark every time until the last third, and then different things happen. But it took a turn that I wasn't expecting, which obviously I won't go into detail on. But it's more than just a murder mystery. There's more. There are bigger forces at play here, that kind of thing, and that was interesting. Yeah. Until it just didn't really go into any of them. Like, it was left frustratingly vague, despite the fact that I reached the end of the game and got a quote unquote good ending. I didn't really learn anything. Like, everything that was there was intentionally kept vague, not for mystery, but I feel like, again, for sort of budget's sake or a shortcoming of the writing. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I need to play this again to find out more. Yeah. It was, this feels like maybe I kind of had my time wasted a little bit. Like, I feel like that game could have given me far more, and it didn't. And I don't really want to play it again because I know what it's about. Even though I might get a different ending, I know what it's about now.
Do you know what price point this game is out at? Is
$8.99.
$8.99. Okay, yeah. Well, you do wonder how much was there a budget constraint? Because surely nowadays, making a I'm not in any position to
tell us, Peter.
make this spurious claim, but I would have thought that making a FMV-based video game where there's basically just one house and some actors is probably you require a much lower budget for that than you do for an ordinary game. But then maybe that's all they were given. Maybe they were given just enough to do that. So I don't know. What I'm saying is, I think that if it's a multi-million pound industry at the moment. And when a new game is being made, quite often these studios get given millions upon millions of pounds or dollars. And I just wonder, can we excuse it for budget reasons? Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't know how much they had to play with. Maybe they were only given a few $100K, and then based on that, they've actually made a pretty respectable game. But
that's the thing.
It's hard to know.
It reeks of a student production.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's far too. I don't know. It's an impressive student production.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's not really the caliber that we've come to expect from games of the genre.
It's just hard to know how many concessions to give it if we don't know what budget it was working with in a way.
It feels cheap.
Yeah.
It feels, the price I paid for it felt right. If I paid sort of $15.99, I'd feel a bit ripped off, I think. So for its price point, it is what it is. But if we're reviewing it in, even comparing it to another PlayLink, I know it's not PlayLink, but another smartphone-controlled game that's a similar thing, Hidden Agenda. I played a lot of Hidden Agenda this past weekend on the lead up to actually playing Erica. It's that spurred me on, because I had people over and I was like, well, there's this new game that's come out. Should we give that a go?
Yeah.
Hidden Agenda reviewed not great, and that game's way better than Erica.
I quite enjoyed Hidden Agenda.
And it's got actual party implementation as well, where everybody gets to vote on decisions. People have sort of hidden agendas that they keep from each other that they're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
And I feel like if that was full motion video, it would be so bad.
Yeah.
It would be so bad, but it has the benefit of being made in a video game engine. And yes, it's got actual actors' faces in it, and there's clearly been mocap done as well, because you're never actually moving a character around, you're just making decisions. But I feel like this game would have benefited from that so much. Full motion video clearly has a long way to go.
Yeah.
And this is an admirable, I suppose, I'm hesitant to call it a first step, but at least in a new, if it's to kickstart a new wave of FMV games, it's an admirable first step. But it feels cheap. I don't want to play it again.
Yeah.
And I feel kind of cheated by it because I didn't really know what was going on. Like, I got the gist, and the game really holds your hand in a lot of places. Like, hey, here's that thing we saw earlier. Do you remember it?
Right.
Here it is. It's relevant now.
Okay.
Do you get it? But then it doesn't really pay off in any meaningful way, which, as I said, leads me to believe it's not so much a failing as me, the player, as it is a failing in the game, in that it's just not very well made. And by well made, I'm not talking about a standard video game thing. I'm talking about basically a film or a TV show thing, where it's not well written and it's just not very well put together.
Yeah.
So I don't know. A lot of people, this is a Marmite game.
Yeah.
I think I've seen a lot of people just say this is the most incredible thing they've ever played.
Well, I think Bandersnatch was. I think that obviously, was talked about a lot, and loads of people said that they really liked it. But I recall seeing lots of very critical things about it, saying, "Oh, it really wasn't what it's cracked up to be."
Crap.
Yeah, like it's not as immersive and branching as it ought to be, and so yeah.
So this is just my opinion, obviously. But the people I played it with it was like watching a bad movie.
Right.
We were all sat there trying to predict the lines that were coming next, or trying to just call what the ending would be, like even 20 minutes into the game. It's a couple of hours long. So it is the equivalent of having a movie night where everyone just gets to say what's going on. So it has its place, and it is of value. and I did get enjoyment out of it, but I don't think it's very good.
Right.
And I would like to see them do another one, and I will play that. But Erica, not blown away, Peter.
Oh, that's a shame.
Not blown away.
It just sounds like, FMV games haven't really come along at all since the turn of the century.
Apparently
all it is,
not.
it's just in HD now, and that's it. It's still
Yeah.
just cheesy and cheap.
I don't know. Please let me know what you think. I'd be interested to hear it, but not blown away.
No.
Personally, not blown away. In fact, I don't even know how long this video is going to last without getting some kind of copyright strike, because it is
Just uploading
basically
the footage.
uploading the footage of this movie. So what you may have noticed is that there's like weird slow zooms and rotations on the footage just to try and trick YouTube's copyright system, because I've been stung by that in the past.
Have we
That's what I got.
quipped? I can't.
Erica, more like
America.
yes.
I don't know what that means
No, it's
at all.
great.
That just sounds like Erica.
Full motion video for more like poo motion video.
Whoa.
Hang on.
FMV, more like not for me.
Oh, I think you did it.
What? That's not even.
I think you did it.
It
Play
just
link.
slightly rhymes.
More like play rubbish.
Whoa.
Yes. Okay. Here
But
we
it's not
go.
Playlink.
No, it's not. Sony Interactive Entertainment. More like Sony Interactive rubbish.
Crap.
Yeah. There we
Whoa.
go.
Oh.
Anyway, we should go.
Yeah,
now.
let's finish it there.
Bye.